Okay, so my project is on designing a high-efficiency solar cell. So my typical question is, can natural black light absorbing properties be used to design a solar cell with high efficiency? The hypothesis states that if magenta black is used in the design of a solar cell to increase the light intensity, then the solar cell efficiency will increase because the voltage increases as the light intensity increases. And the higher the voltage, the higher the power output of the solar cell. The graph down here shows that as the light intensity increases, the voltage also increases. My area of study touches bases on engineering, chemistry, electronics, and physics. But the main point is environmental science. I don't have any mentor, but I am looking, still hunting, and I do have one potential mentor who I have not emailed yet, but I will do so this week, hopefully. So what is a P and N type semiconductor? First off, a semiconductor is important in the structure of a solar cell because of its low band gap. The minimal energy needed to free an electron from its bound state in that. P-type semiconductors have an impurity that creates holes, and N-type semiconductors have an impurity that contributes free electrons. So how does solar cells work? Solar cells function by taking advantage of the P and N junction. When P-type and N-type materials are next to each other, and photons of light hit the solar cell, electrons are knocked loose from the negative side. This causes them to jump the band gap and fill the holes in the positive side. Connecting these two terminals creates a current. These are diagrams that show the structure of a solar cell. And on the right side, it is a close-up of the P and N junction. So as more light strikes, more electrons get knocked loose, increasing the rate at which a P and N junction can function. Not cited, but magenta black's band gap is 10 to the power of -3, 0.003. So electrons can very easily jump the band gap and fill the holes in the positive side. For comparison, silicon, which is the most used semiconductor in solar cells, has a band gap of 1.11. Both band gaps are measured at 300 K or 25 Celsius, which I'll explain later. So, increases in temperature reduce the band gap of a semiconductor, thereby affecting most of the semiconductor's material parameters. So, in this graph, you can see that at 25 Celsius, it has the highest power output. But when the temperature increases to say 45 or 60 Celsius, the voltage decreases, which will lead to a power decrease. So I'll be designing a solar cell using carbon nanotubes to increase the light intensity of a solar cell. The carbon nanotube will be replacing the silicon in the solar cell, as it only reflects 0.04% of visible light, and it absorbs ultraviolet, infrared, microwaves, and visible light. I'll be replacing the P-type and N-type silicon with doped P-type and N-type carbon nanotubes. Now it is important to dope the carbon nanotubes because, again, that would bring the impurity. So you can have a hole in the positive side and a free roaming electron on the negative side. So these are just my resources and materials. My plan is to run my materials by October 19th, have my review of lit done by November 19th, start designing my solar cell by November 19th and finish, I don't know when, but at least before January 15th, where I would start to gather my results, and then before March 9th to finish my final paper. So to measure my results, I'll be using a light spectrometer to measure the incident radiation flux, and the multimeter to measure the maximum power output of the solar cell, which which I forgot to add. I'll go back. But if you look down in the corner, it's really small. But the maximum efficiency equals the power output divided by the incident radiation flux multiplied by the area of the collector. I revealed it. None of my literature cited. Learning outcomes are to understand how a solar cell functions, understand the physics behind the function of a solar cell, to learn how to design electronic circuits, and learn the behavior of light. My investigation outcomes are to build a 85% efficiency solar cell, and to get a 100-watt solar cell that is only 1.24 square inches, which is a big dream. Normal solar cells, which have solar panels that have 90 cells, the highest wattage is 310 currently. So getting one solar cell that can run at 100 watts and only 1.24 square inches, that'd be pretty amazing. One solar cell could replace, three solar cells could replace one solar panel.
Wow.
So, it'd be pretty powerful. I've not worked on this project before. No research. I've never done any research in this area before either, so I'm completely new. There is no use of humans or animals in this project, or lab rats. Hazardous materials, which they will add. So that would be carbon nanotubes with their small diameter and small diameter. The implications of my study are to replace non-renewable resources of energy production, create a green and safe environment by removing greenhouse gas emissions, to create a dependent, everlasting source of energy, and to make solar energy a viable option for households and companies that have millions of dollars to afford a solar panel. I don't include it here either, but I also want to try and save human beings because the ocean levels are rising very rapidly, and by the next 70 or 80 years, we could be submerged underwater. So, one start
That's the highest point on Earth.
Otherwise, that's it. I'm done. Any questions? Yeah.
You talked about using advanced black material, like give an explanation of what advanced black is.
Okay, disclaimer. There is the company behind Quantum Black, storage nanotubes, is releasing 0 to 0.01% information behind Magic Black, which is making my research very difficult because there's no research in this field either. So I don't have any information about Magic Black.
But can you give a basic description of what it is? Because it looks just like a black material. It looks, from the images, it just looks like black material. It doesn't look like anything unusual. And I'm curious to know how just this random black material could produce energy.
It's not like producing energy, it's just capturing the light in the p-type and n-type semiconductors. But it has a really, like I said, it has a really small band gap. Right, that would mean that the electrons can easily jump over the band gap to create a current. And also, it has a really advanced black on the material itself. It's a couple. The diameter is a couple nano centimeters, I think. I don't know how much numbers for that. Huh? It's like a nanometer too. Thank you. And I'm not sure about. It is a multi-wall.